What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. How y'all doing out there on this Tuesday? I'm doing pretty good myself. I hope y'all doing well. This story right here comes out of Kansas, okay? And as you can see, this young man right here, who I believe is definitely being railroaded, says man sentenced to more than 12 years for raping teen he met at Lawrence College bar. I've heard a lot of different stories about this situation right here. So I decided to get into pick one of these stories, and just get into it, and we can go through it together and see what's really up. I've heard a lot of different rumors, but for the most part, the rumors that I heard, no, it was not a rape. Okay, no, it wasn't a rape. Maybe some kissing and some foreplay, but the racist judge, who I feel needs to be removed from the bench, decides to use the judicial system as a weapon against this young black man and probably any other black man that will come through there. Maybe even some white man, who knows? Could be a feminist as well. But the thing is this, I don't foresee this case as being a rape, and hopefully they can overturn it. Hopefully they can get to the bottom of the situation, overturn it, with an appeal, and get this thing off of him, because this ain't cool at all. So let's get into the story. A former University of Kansas student sentenced to prison Wednesday for raping a teen he met at a bar near the campus. Douglas County District Court Judge Sally Pokerney ordered Albert N. Wilson, 23, of Wichita, to 147 months, just over 12 years in prison. She said that will be followed by a lifetime post-release supervision, and he must register as a sex offender. That's excessive, man. That is very excessive. And further we get into the story, you'll understand why I say that. For a person with no criminal history, as in Wilson's case, Wilson's sentence is the lowest end of what's called for by Kansas sentencing guidelines for rape. His appointed attorney, Forrest Laurie, had asked the judge to depart from sentencing guidelines and grant Wilson probation, or at least a shorter prison sentence. But that request was denied. On January 10th, a jury convicted Wilson of one count of rape by force or fear. The rape and the encounter that led up to it happened on a Saturday night in September 2016. Coming up on 3 years, and they just get into, the sentencing and all that kind of stuff, man. See, this is what they want to do. Get you in some kind of case, a case on you, drag it out, and then lock you up forever and all that old bull. Wilson and then 17-year-old victim met inside the Jayhawk Cafe, known as the Hawk 1314 Ohio Street. Both were underage. Okay, both of them was underage, okay? Wilson used a friend's ID to get in, and the girl wasn't carded at all. Wilson was a UK student at the time. The girl was a high school student from the Kansas City area, visiting her cousin at KU. I've been saying UK, I mean KU. Y'all excuse me. The two met in the line to get into the boom boom room, the dark, crowded dance floor in the basement of the Hawk. The victim testified at trial that she'd been drinking beforehand and that Wilson first lifted her skirt and assaulted her on the dance floor. She said he then led her stumbling out of the bar and to his home a couple of blocks away. See, I didn't hear this before, but I mean, if she had been drinking And he lifted her skirt and all that. She knew what he was getting at. That's if this is the truth. It actually happened. She knew what he was getting with. Why would you go with him? You got all these people around. You couldn't make a scene and say, I don't want to go with you in front of all these people. Think about it. There she repeatedly told him, no, I'm too drunk. I can't do this. But Wilson held her down and raped her, she said. She then returned to the bar and reconnected with her cousin and went to a hospital for a sexual assault examination the following day. In asking for a lighter sentence, Lowry called the case a sad situation for everyone. More than 24 supporters of Wilson's attended the hearing. Several friends and relatives spoke on the behalf, describing a selfless young man with good character, a good work ethic, and big goals for his life. They don't care about that. That's what they want to do, is take all that away from him. Wilson was a Wichita Southeast high school football player who first got an associate's degree from a community college before transferring to KU, Lowry said. Wilson wanted to work as a sports journalist, and that before that night at the Hawk and the ensuing charges and convictions, he was realizing his dreams of graduating from KU. In his written motion, Lowry emphasized that Wilson was just 20 and the woman, just 17 when the incident occurred, and that Wilson testified that he thought she wanted to have sex with him, though ultimately they only engaged in a sex act. Sex acts other than intercourse. Okay, foreplay. That's what it was. Lowry pointed out the incident involved no weapon and no threats, and he argued that DNA evidence did not corroborate the woman's report that Wilson had intercourse with her. See? Lies. It was a chance meeting. Obviously, my client misread what was going on, Lowry said in court. If there was ever a case that deserved a departure of any kind, I think this is it. While forensic testing found no seminal fluid on the girl's clothing or vaginal swab, that doesn't necessarily mean sexual intercourse did not occur. Kansas Bureau of Investigation's technicians testified during the trial. Photos from the sexual assault examined the girl got at a hospital the next day corroborated her account that Wilson held down and bruised her legs while he raped her on his bed, the state argued at trial. A lot of conflicting stories. Wilson spoke briefly on Wednesday. He told the judge he was not a bad person and asked her to do anything she could to help him via a lighter sentence. I'm sorry for this whole situation, he said. The victim did not attend Wilson's sentencing. Prosecutor Amy McGowan spoke on behalf, saying the woman has just as many people supporting her outside the courtroom. While Wilson's future has been impacted by the situation, it's important to remember that the victim has been as well, McGowan said, noting that the offense robbed the victim of the person that she would go on to become. Bull. Yeah, bull. What he did to her violated and changed her, McGowan said. McGowan said the man of the character whom Wilson's supporters described was not the person the victim met at the bar before she was led away and raped. The defendant's behavior that night was very predatory, she said. In sentencing, Wilson, within the state's guidelines for the crime, Pokenary said she heard the evidence at trial that the jury made a decision to convict Wilson on a high-level felony. You and your family may not agree with the verdict, but the verdict came back as guilty, Pokenary said. This offense is a rape. They'll say anything a rape. Now, there's another story, you understand, that says, okay, they went back to his apartment. They had camera footage when they was in the bar on the dance floor, okay? And then they left and went back to his apartment, and they were gone 5 minutes, okay? In this other story, 5 minutes. And then they came back to the place. Then all of a sudden, she goes and she hollers rape. Let me see this other, this might be it right here. I don't know, I might have got rid of it. Yeah. Yeah, he was convicted by an all-white jury. But yeah, this is the vibe. It was another story that I had up here. To actually, said that, yeah, they were only gone 5 minutes, and everything. But yeah, too bad, that the young brother, got into this situation with, whoever this little white girl is, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But I don't see how, like I said, he said he kissed her on the chest in the other story. Okay, and they found DNA tests to collaborate that. What he said. But, I don't know a lot of kisses don't happen like that. You know what I mean? It sounds like some kind of foreplay or love making or whatever you want to call it. But rapes don't normally go that way. You know what I mean? But it's a bad situation. But I'm warning a lot of brothers out there, or any brother that hear this message. Be careful who you're dealing with. Especially these white girls. Matter of fact, just don't fool with them. Because they looking to throw every damn thing at you, including the kitchen and the fucking bathroom sink. And all white jury. And then you got this this judge, which is a joke. And I'm telling y'all, it's another story, out there, that pretty much says it disputes what this girl was saying that took place. Okay? But I guess eventually we'll get to the bottom of it. But y'all tell me what y'all think about this situation. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And this is James, and I'm out. Peace.